Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you how to make these bracelets. I've made it in that color and I've made it in this color. They're not hard to do, it's very easy. All that I did to close it was I took little hooks and eyes and I just over here, whoops, get you in camera, over here I just sewed the one part on and I've just hooked it onto my thread over here. So that way I can make it tighter or looser. See, all I did was put the little hook on. I sewed two hooks on and then you just hook it onto here. Just be careful that you don't damage your thread, but that's basically it. I'm going to show you how to make this. So let's get started. Okay, so this is what the little bracelet looks like close up. When you do your end part, you're going to have to use your discretion because I came with two of these little shells on the end, and yet on this side I couldn't do the same. I had to have one, and it doesn't really matter because when you're closing it you're not really going to see it. You'll close it, then you're not really, it doesn't really matter, but this is what it looks like close up. So let me show you how to do this. This is the embroidery cotton that I use to crochet it with, and what I'm in the bottom of the pattern I'll tell you what the numbers are because it's a little fine to read it now, but those are the two colors that I use for that bracelet. For this one I'm actually going to use the blue and it's like a red color, and I'm using a hook which is a 3.5, so it's very small, but it gives you a very nice pattern. So you're going to start off by doing 10 chain. So do 10 chain and then you're going to count 7. So you're going to count, that's 1. So that's your first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to do a double crochet in that one. And you should have 3 left. 1, 2, 3, which I do. So do 3 double crochets in this very first part of your bracelet. 3 double crochets in the same spot. And then you're going to do 3 chain, and then you're going to do another 3 in that very same spot. So you're going to do another 3 over here. Okay, so you did your 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Now in your very last chain you're going to do a treble. So you just go in the very last one and just do a treble over here. Okay, and that's really the hardest part of this pattern. There's nothing to it. Then you're going to chain 4, chain 4, and then in this, and then you're going to turn in this chain 3 space. You're going to do the same thing that you did there, 3 double crochets with a chain 3 in between. Okay, so you did your 3 double crochets there. Now you're going to do a treble in this very part, this stitch over here. So in the end of your row, and this is all that you're going to be doing. So I'm going to do a full row with you now so you can see exactly what you're doing. So your row would start off with chain 4, turn it around and do your 3 double crochets, 3 chain, 3 double crochets. So, and I'll show you now. Chain 4, 3 double crochets, 3 chain, 3 double crochets, and then you do a treble in the end. And that's all that you're going to do the whole way over until it's as long as you want it. I can't tell you the length because everybody's wrist is so different. So just keep doing this the whole way, and once it's the length that you want, now remember that you are going to be adding a shell over here which is going to give you a little bit more length at the ends of both of yours. So depending on how loose you want it or how tight you want it, you'll have to play around with that. And I'll just complete this quickly and then I'll come back and show you how to finish it. So I've got to the place where I feel that my bracelet is long enough for me. So you're just going to do your last treble over here. You're going to do your treble over there and stop over there. So you did your 4 chain, 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet, and you trebled into this last part over here. So now I'm going to change colors, and you don't have to change colors. Once again, it's totally up to you. I'm just going to do 3 chain in my new color. Just pull that so it's not so loose, and then I'm going to do, I just carry this around here so that I can I don't have to sew it in. And you're just going to do 8 in each one of well, the second, you're going to do 8 double crochets in here, and then you're going to slip stitch in there, 8 double crochets in there, and slip stitch in there. So to start off with, because this is going to be my first one, that will be counting as my first double crochet, so that's 1, and then I'm just going to do 8 in here. Now if you find this is a little bit too high, you actually don't have to do the double crochets. You could either do single crochet, or you could do half a double crochet. It won't be quite as wide as this, but it's totally up to you. You could do either one of those. So all you're going to do is your 8 double crochet. Let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 2 more. 6, 7, 8, and then you're going to simply slip stitch in. You can put those yarns away. You're going to just slip stitch into this chain space over there, slip stitch in there, and then into your next space you're going to do another 8, and you're going to just do this all the way around. Right, so you've come to the end of your first part over here. Now this is where I say you've got to use your discretion, because it depends on how many of these you actually made as to how many chain spaces you're going to have. Now it's your call. I mean, you could do a slip stitch in here and then in this piece, but mine doesn't look too good because it's the bottom part of my chain, so I don't want to go with that scenario. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slip stitch over here. I'm going to slip stitch in there, and then I'm going to use this for my other 8 double crochet. So I'll do my other 8 double crochet in here. You know, in this there's no set form. Don't ever think that you have to be legalistic when it comes to your crochet work. If it works for you, then you do it. You know, don't think, oh, the pattern said I have to do it this way. Well, you know what, I change a pattern so many times. I change it to the way I would prefer it to be, and this just works out a lot easier. So I will do that, and then I'm going to, let's see, I'll probably just slip stitch in here. Now I'm just finding this extra strand so it's not too loose there. Hopefully yours won't be like that. And I'm just slip stitching in there, and then I'm going to do my 8 double crochets in here. So you just play with it, and I'll come all the way around again and I'll show you how. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the end of my row. I've come to have 8 over here, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this one here. Now yours might be the opposite, where you slip stitch in there and have your 8 here, which is probably a little bit of a better scenario. But once again, just play with it. There's no set rules. So I'm going to slip stitch in this one, and then I'm going to just do my 8 in here. So I just do my 8 double crochets in this one, and your end result is going to be just fine. It doesn't really matter which way you go. I do enjoy doing free-form crochet, and I'm going to be showing you some free-form crochet shortly. I want to do a scarf where I'll show you what to do, and that's where you just have to use your initiative and go with whatever looks the best way. So I should have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then all I'm going to do to finish off is go into the top of this stitch over here. I'm just going to slip stitch in there and then bring my yarn through, and that's the end. So as you see, I think it's very pretty. I love it. When you close yours, it's up to you as to what you want to do to close yours. You could either put a button there, and you can just let this part come over the button, or you can get yourself some of these hook and eyes and sew the one on and then sew this piece on. Depends on how much you like to sew, but it's just use your end threads. I just use those end threads to sew with, and you can use a hook and eye and then just hook it on that way. It's totally up to you. I mean, if you really wanted to and you could fit your hand through, you could just sew this together as well. You could sew it there and squeeze your hand through, but I don't want to overstretch mine, else it's going to be too stretched out. So that's what it looks like. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Thanks. Bye.